This is a story of how I got played by a sugar daddy. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this in one part. First and foremost, we pour out here, right? It's $10 for a carton of eggs. I'm trying to make money. If you had asked me 5 years ago with this income, I would have had a ton of money. I would be vacationing, living. Not anymore. So here we are, living paycheck to paycheck, which we never thought would happen. But I'm trying to make extra money. I'm trying to do it any way that I can, but I don't have a lot of extra time. So here comes sugar daddy. So I know what you're thinking. Hey, Val, ain't no one gonna pay you to sleep with you. You too old, girl. I know. I thought about that. I recognize they're probably going to be 1,000, but isn't that the better deal anyways? So I never thought I'd be a woman to do something like this, but times are tough and I'm a grown ass woman. So we're going to make our decision. So I go to one of the sugar daddy websites, I sign up, and I meet the most mediocre looking I've ever seen in my entire life. He's short, so I can body him if I need to. Go to part 2. So part 2, sugar daddy. So basically I go to this website and meet this mediocre guy. He's like 5'5". Again, I work all of the time. So I'm like, okay, this guy's smaller than me. Kind of dig that. I can handle him if I have to. So everything, honestly, from what I've seen about the TikToks, because I'm not an idiot. I know these girls on here know what they're doing. So I watch a lot of them. And he's basically, it seems pretty legit. Like, we've got a certain time period. We give you gifts. You get an allowance. You go on these trips, right? And this is not a hot guy in any way, shape, or form. So I'm like, how could he be scamming me? Well, it turns out he was. So some random dude's got a picture of my boobs now. I am poorer than I was before, and I still didn't get the e-bike that he promised me. So it wasn't as good a story as you thought it would be. But if you could follow me and listen to my crazy, maybe I can make the money to buy that e-bike after all. Appreciate you guys. And P.S. don't fall for the sugar daddy. Seems too good to be true. Probably is.
And this is what it looks like when you try to do things lazy and live your life on easy mode. Men have been warning you about this for a while, but you guys don't listen until something bad happens.
Like, I was like, I can't travel all the time. I need to work and pay my bills. And he was like, how much are your bills? And that's it.
And then do you show him how thankful you are? What is it afterwards?
I'm there.
You show up.
I'm there.
That's you being thankful.
Yeah, and any wealthy man that I've dated, they've watched my content. I'm sure that they'll watch this. It never even occurs to them to be like, aren't you grateful?
So you don't become more submissive and they pay your bills. You continue.
I definitely become easier to get along with. Like, I'm not worried.
Now, the dating market will forever be ruined because of rich men that simp on women like this. There's nothing we can do about it. Just look at the way she speaks about men providing for her. There's no emotions. She just simply says she's there. Not that she's even there to add value. She's there to uplift them. She's just there. She feels as if her presence is the present. And if you're not careful, these type of women will slowly bleed you. I don't care how rich of a man you are. Even these wealthy men, there's a reason why she isn't still with any of them. Or maybe they just keep her as a side piece. But even these wealthy men know that a woman like her will never bring any long-term benefit. It's just fun. So they'll spend as much as they need to and do any frivolous gesture simply to fulfill their lust. And that is why, gentlemen, you have to stay away from these type of women. No matter what you do, align yourself with high-value women, trust fund baddies only. And if you want more dating psychology, how to attract these type of women, comment TFBA or click the link in my bio to apply for Trust Fund Baddies Academy.
She's definitely closing her mouth around those types of men. She's definitely doing that. Well, I definitely become easier. That's her trying to posture and say, well, I retain some of my power. She doesn't want to look like an idiot on the podcast, but she's definitely being quiet. When a man walks in that door and says, hey, this is what we doing, this is what we got going on, you can split. You can absolutely split if you're not on that same type of time. That's it, and that's all.
My favorite animal is got to be American women not realizing they're the reasons why Trump is in office. They're the reasons why Kamala lost. Like, bro, if you was born in 2006 and 2024 was your first federal election, that would have been a whole 18 years of decentering men that you grew up around. You weren't decentering men, ladies. You had our names in your mouths every 3.5 seconds. You weren't decentering men. You were dehumanizing men. 18 whole years growing up, hearing how much women hate you and how much they don't need you and they don't like you, hearing how evil you are just by being a man. What do you think was going to happen after 20 years of being cyberbullies? This is what happened. You handed him a second presidency by being so petulant. And now you got Democrats trying to walk it back, spending $20 million. How do we reach young men? Oh, we need a left-wing Joe Rogan. You did have a left-wing Joe Rogan. Until he questioned you on some things, and then you decided that he was too conservative because he held you accountable. And now what's going on? The girls are sitting here flipping the script, and they're calling out all the misandrists and calling them weird and all, and acknowledging that they were actually on the DL. Man, where was all that compassion when the male suicide rate started to jump up? Oh man, would you look at that? Suicide rates increased by 37% between 2000 and 2018. I wonder what was going on in that era. I wonder what kind of social movements were happening. Hell, for those of us that have been around for a while, we know about 2004, 2006. That's when monetization on social media really started to kick off. That's when y'all realized that you could make a quick buck off of trauma cycling online. I joke and I laugh because the situation's fixing itself. The country's healing. Male-female divide is closing. The funny part, the punchline, are the millions still on this app pretending as though they're still going to be able to make a buck by being a misandrist.
A woman in the comments, I'll leave her name out of this. And now women have a lot of accountability to take on. We are entering into a season of calling women out on their BS, and as a mother of 2 boys, I am so here for it. Thank you for your contribution, ma'am. Have a blessed day.
It's 6:37 in the morning. You know how many men have looked at me get gas at this QT? Like fucking 8. You think I'm that cute? Why am I instead of just staring like
Things have gotten so bad in 2024. I've never seen this level of entitlement from women. But this is now, I think we can call this an illness or a mental disorder, because there's so many women who think they are entitled to men's money, to men's pockets. It is so bizarre. So she shows up at a gas station and some random guy she's never going to see again either looks at her or pays her a compliment, and now he must pay for her gas. Do you understand that women are the biggest narcissists in the United States? I can't think of anything more narcissistic than to expect money from random strangers simply because they're looking at you or paid you a compliment. But that's where we're at in 2025.
As a scientist studying the chop man epidemic, I'm here to give you guys some tips on how to slow the spread. And recently, it's come to my attention that I'm in fact a chop man, part of the chop man epidemic. So thank you very much for the diagnosis in my comments. And today I'm going to be applying these tips to myself to show you how we can decrease the number of cases and slow the spread. Let's go.
Here we have our chopped man patient, and as you can see, he's not looking too great. One main symptom of this epidemic is putting no effort into style. It's 2025, you cannot be wearing free t-shirts and basketball shorts anymore. No. Let's find an outfit that fits and shows off a bit of your personality. The chop man has changed, and wow, see how putting on a simple, flattering outfit has elevated his look? In addition to bad outfits, another symptom of the chop man epidemic is unkept hair. So this chop man is taking down his hair and brushing it out to make sure it's flattering for his face shape. Simply spending a couple minutes on your hair every morning can really fight this epidemic. An often overlooked symptom of the chop man epidemic is bad posture, often caused by too much time on the internet. You want to roll your shoulders back, tuck your pelvis under, and stand up straight. Don't slouch and you'll look 10 times more confident. Lastly, the chop man is putting in some accessories to finalize his fight against this epidemic. The chop man epidemic isn't unstoppable. All we need is a little bit of effort into our appearances and we can slow the spread. Stay vigilant and do your part. Bye!
Somebody in the comments said, a woman, obviously, you have full lips, high cheekbones, and smooth skin. Anyone who says you're chopped is lying. Interesting. So just because a man says, I don't find her attractive, that means he's lying. You guys, and by the way, This is actually pretty hilarious. Thank you for this video. You guys get up on here and say anything and then expect the man to take it. Y'all insult the men, and then when the man hits back, then all of a sudden it's a problem. Oh, I was just trying to help. Y'all's communication is some of the worst that I've seen. And as a scientist experimenting, you could have experimented with talking to different people and saying, how can I say this? How can I put this to where men will understand? Hey, this is what I might do. Here's some tips. Here's some tips that I tell my guy friends to help. For people who want men to talk to them a certain way, y'all sure know how to bring a man and his psyche, his day, just his general mood down.
God, if you ran out of husbands, just say that. I got a bachelor's degree, I got computer certifications, and when I was making all of this money and on top of my game, men was saying to me, you know, your degree and your money ain't gonna get you nowhere with these men because we don't care about any of that. We just care about if you're fit, feminine, and friendly. Are you submissive? Do you cook? Which are all things I am. But now, I've been living in a hotel for the past 6 months trying to get me and my son out of here, and I had to cut my career in half to be able to take care of him. And now men are saying to me, oh, you're never going to get a man because men only want women who have themselves together. These dusties need to make up their mind. Do you want to provide or don't you? Do you want to submit to a woman or you want her to submit to you? I mean, which one is it at this point? Or are you just trying to tell me that men don't really want women? Y'all want each other?
What does that have to do with not having your life together? You have a career. I'm not sure what happened to your other man, but you can have a career. Men aren't against you being educated and having a career, having your money. Men aren't against that, but that's not a priority to them. That also doesn't mean that just because you don't have a career or you don't have a job that's high paying that you would need to be living like a bum. I feel like those two go together. Like, I don't necessarily care about your career and what's going on. I would love that, support that for you, but that's not necessarily something that I care about. But also, I mean, you're homeless. Y'all wouldn't want to take a man that's homeless either.
You good. Like this hair?
Yes, that should look good. Nah, for real.
Why you laughing, Mom? Why are you laughing? He said he likes it.
Yeah, it look good. I like it. I've never seen you like this.
So when I was about to put in a ponytail, and I said, maybe I'll leave it like this.
I've never seen you like this. I know, that should look good. Damn, I like that.
A woman in the comments said, my husband is the same way. I be looking like Friedrich Douglass, and he loves the curls. Another dude said, I tell my wife that I miss those natural styles. This is what they want to copy, but can't. I'm telling you, man, these men out here will tell you exactly what they want and what they like. But a lot of women out here, just like her, will be like, oh, no, he can't like that. They'll be overthinking things when a man told you simply straight up, hey, this is what I like. This is what I want. This is the way that I like you. And men will get bashed for saying what they like in a woman.
Actually, for the men, I worked briefly at a matchmaking company. I have tons of stories, tons of crazy stories, conversations that I had with people, both good and bad. The number one request that women made of all ages that called in, the number one request I got, and it was frequent, was asking to be paired with men with emotional intelligence.
And in your brief stint working there at a matchmaking company, what did the men say they wanted out of a woman? Be interesting to hear that.
Men are only nice to you because they want to sleep with you. They'll only help you if they think they can sleep with you. They'll only say nice things to you because they think they can sleep with you. They do nice things for you because they want to sleep with you. The thing is that us women, we could never comprehend only being nice to someone because we want to sleep with them. But that's how men are. They're not nice to women that they're not attracted to. Just like, think about that. Guarantee if a man is being nice to you, going out his way to do stuff for you, it's because he wants to sleep with you. Or he thinks he can sleep with you at some point. That's why you should never feel bad for getting what you want from him. Because he literally only wants that from you. Once they get what they want, they're going to act differently. And no, that's not them changing. You just never knew who they really were. Because they were never showing their true face to begin with. Basically, if a man is talking to you and he's being pleasant, it's because he wants to sleep with you. And if he didn't, trust me, he would not be talking to you.
So let me push back a little bit. If a man says, I'm only taking you out to dinner because I want to sleep with you, your idea or your thought process is to say, okay, oh, you do, huh? Well, let me go ahead and go on the dinner with you. I'm going to have you pay for all my dinner. Then when I get home, I'm going to block you to really show you how it is. So you're not going to do me like that. Instead of just saying, oh no, you are not the man for me. Goodbye, sir. Click. And instead of just removing yourself from the situation altogether, you decide to go into a situation, waste somebody's time and their money, and then try to be toxic about everything else, and then try to justify it. Accountability. This is such a stupid plan. You don't know what that man is thinking. You put yourself willingly in a situation that you had no business in. Instead of saying, that man is an idiot, I'm going to get away from him. I'm going to remove myself from anything and everything that he has to do with as fast as possible. I don't mess around with those men. You're going to go into the situation and try to go tit for tat. But you're more mature than he is.
I'm an attorney, and I hate telling men that I'm an attorney because there's like one of 4 responses. Number 1 is they're like, you? Okay. Now you're doing too much. Another fan favorite is, do you mean a paralegal? Did I say paralegal? Did I say legal assistant? I said attorney. Okay. So I'm not confused about the lingo. I said attorney and I meant attorney. Then there's the, oh, you got money. Not for you. Another favorite, of course, is the, I was gonna go to law school. Were you? Because you don't even have your bachelor's degree. So I was gonna be in the NFL. If I had taken a single step towards it, I think I could have been pretty great. So, and I'm saying that as a quarterback of a team that exists.
But I don't think he answered the question. Do you have money though, or not?
I get it. Women are mad about the, oh, I didn't marry a loser trend. I get it. Women are mad. Women are always mad. They're like, oh, it's not the woman's fault that he turned out to be a complete moron and a jerk. And now I'm seeing posts about how it's such a flex to have a good, loyal husband. Like, you're one of the lucky ones. Let me tell you something, babe. It's not a flex. And it didn't happen by accident, okay? I waited a long time to find the right person. I was very patient. I was single for an incredibly long time, and I didn't settle. I knew my worth, and I waited until I found somebody who exceeded that in my eyes. And then we dated slowly and intentionally, and eventually got engaged and married after years of letting our relationship grow and develop with each other. All of my girlfriends who have gotten out of toxic, crappy relationships ignored a million signs. I'm sorry, guys, men are simple. They show you who they are pretty quickly, okay? Even if they don't intend to. And every single one of those friends now, when they look back, they're like, oh my God, what was I doing? Like, what was I thinking? No one's saying that it's your fault if you've been blindsided. But it's okay to look back and admit, maybe I missed a few things, or maybe I ignored signs. So no, it's not a flex to have a good, loyal husband. It's a testament to a good man with good morals and raised by a good family who is good to his core. And it's a testament to the woman who made sure she didn't settle and knew what she was worth and waited for that. Thank you so much.
And the women in the comments are mad for some reason, upset at the, I mean, she's trying to tell you guys, it doesn't happen by accident. Be intentional about what you're doing. The man is showing you, so you can't have an excuse to be like, oh man, he tricked me. He didn't. No, he didn't. Maybe he got over on you once or twice, but you wasn't paying attention. They'll never say that they were, well, he just caught me off guard. They'll say that before they say, oh, I was listening. I heard what he said. I was looking. I saw what he did. But that didn't matter to me because he was 6 foot. He made 6 figures. He had a 6-pack. That's all I was really looking for. I'd rather cry in a Bentley than cry in a Malibu. I don't know.
I went on a date on a rooftop, and as the date goes on, the guy's like, oh, actually, I don't want this to end, but I kind of want to get out of here. My friend actually has a rooftop nearby, and she's grilling or whatever, so do you want to go there? And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm assuming that there's multiple people there. We get there, it's me, him, and his friend. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And she's like, oh, Sally, can you come downstairs and help me like grab something? And I'm like, sure, this is really weird. So I go downstairs with her, and then we go back up, and I don't know, she's like talking to me, she's asking me questions. I'm like, oh, like this is really nice. And then finally, like, we eat, we go back downstairs to her apartment, and we're all hanging out. I get up, I go to the restroom, I come back out, they're both naked.
He say he went out and recruited. Now I gotta ask you a question to see if you on board. They was in it together.
I think men friendships last longer because they just accept that their friends are bums, cheaters, etc., etc.
Hey, yo, what the f***? We not about to do this. We not doing this. Okay, yeah, maybe a couple of the guys be sometimes. Okay, yeah, a couple of the guys might be cheating and shit, you feel me? Nah, we not doing that. Hell no. None of the guys is on that. But we definitely ain't no bums. We definitely ain't no bums. We getting to it over here. Definitely no bums on this side. How we jump from to what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm sure these genuinely think that if I knew one of my mans was out here on some booty warrior Diddy, that would still be my mans. Y'all genuinely believe that? And shorties love to say friendships are so surface level, but y'all meet a shorty in a club today. All she said is, "Oh my God, girl, you're so pretty." Now y'all friends. And somehow 3 weeks later, y'all all on a girls trip in Miami. Then you fall out because you find out, oh, this bitch weird. You didn't even know shorty to begin with. That was her regular personality. You didn't even know her.
They think they have some sort of moral high ground. They think the way they live is a lot better. They think they're better people than men. That's why they never acknowledge the nonsense that they do. They always have a way to explain it. They have women in their friend groups like this as well. They just figure out a way. Oh, well, there's a reason that you cheated. Or there's a reason. That's not funny. There's a reason that you did that child like that. There's a reason for that.
You know how I know that my husband is not gay? That's how I know. I don't think a gay man would ever pick this flower, son. Even though it looks like psychedelic LGBTQ flag. No, I think a gay man would have a better taste. Unless he's trying to send me a message.
I mean, I think maybe the phrase you might have been looking for was, "Thank you, I appreciate that. These are so lovely."
The reason why I don't have a boyfriend is because I need a transactional relationship and not the kind where he puts his Amex down and then I put out when we get home. I'm talking about, I'm going to invite you over to play Nintendo Switch on my TV. I will provide the beer and we could even make slime the next morning if you're down. And in exchange, you hang the ceiling lamp that I bought from Home Depot yesterday, and I need my faucets replaced in my bathroom because I can't do it on my own. And I have 6 to 7 heavy boxes that I need carried up the stairs. And maybe when you're done with all that, I'll give you a kiss on the cheek.
Now, one guy said, "This sounds like a husband job for friendship payment. The math ain't mathing." But a lot of guys in there are saying, well, you know, these are actually fair and reasonable terms. Another guy says, "That's sounds fair to me and drama free." Another dude says, "Toss in some mozzarella sticks and we have a deal." So, what are you going to do?
Yeah, catch this. This is what the video was about. Why do women think it's being themselves to say every mean thing that comes to their mind to their husbands? Then in the caption, he said, somewhere along the line, being real got confused with being reckless, and now disrespect is framed as authenticity until he stops listening. Jesus Christ, I could never say that word. Yeah. Somebody said, women are simply miserable creatures. They are never satisfied. But this is not what I wanted to show y'all. I just wanted to show y'all how it started. Then he said, Shahrazad Ali said that the average black woman in America doesn't emotionally mature past the age 14. So you have to talk to them as if you're talking to a 14-year-old girl. What? Now this is what somebody else said. A large majority of them, that's why they try to treat every birthday like they're turning 16 again. Act like the world is supposed to stop. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, all days that we eventually grow into. They want the world to acknowledge them on these days. I said this for years. They're overgrown children. Excuse me? Sekna, y'all, I just learned something new. I never knew that. Me don't know. I have my emotional intelligence. I am emotionally mature. I mean, there's always things people got to work on, but for the most part, wow. Now I know why I can't be friends with black people, because they don't understand. For an example, them Them right here. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to be like, I feel like this. They just be like, she said this, so beat her up. That is what a 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl would do. Y'all are nuts. That's crazy. And then y'all promoting that like that shit okay. And this is not to shame black women. I swear it's not to shame black women. But y'all gotta get it together. This is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. This should be having me mad as
Well, that's what men are talking about. And once again, it goes beyond black people, white people, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. This is what men are talking about across the board. These women, not all women, but these types of women are not maturing past a certain age, but still asking for a man to be good at communication, be emotionally available, yada, yada, yada. So just be careful out there.
I'm literally hitting every bear it hurts, and I don't give a fuck. I will be the pick me and not give a fuck. This is the main reason why. Let's roll the clip.
Assess your outfit. Assess. Okay, so the comment I left was pretty long and excessive. I should have just made a video. I'm not trying to argue with anybody. I guess with my understanding, I don't understand women, especially women who so vocally hate other women. In your previous video, you were explaining what a girl's girl meant to you. But in general terms, what you were explaining is a hater. What? That's not what a girl's girl is. A girl's girl does not wish the downfall of others or ill intent on others. That is what a hater is. And there's men that are haters that do the same thing to women. There are men out there that do the same thing to their girlfriends or best friends, only hoping that they get into their pants. And that was the only intention that they will ever have for them. Say for women, the only intention some women have are to get with their men. I mean, that's how the world works. That's how the world goes around.
No, that's how your world works.
That's not what the fuck a girl's girl is. I was explaining to you what a girl's girl was because that's what a girl's girl is.
Oh, you're bad.
I don't understand people who say, oh yeah, a girl's girl only cares about certain things when it comes to their friends. They only care about themselves. They don't care about others.
They do.
They're ugly as this side. That's hating.
I'm not gonna lie to you, sister girl.
Sometimes I have to say it, but that will forever be a hater. And a person who doesn't like their own gender, I think there's some conflict there. There's a lot of conflict there because how can you hate all women when not all women are like that? I like men. I like women. I'm a very nice person. I am a nice person to my friends. I help out whenever I can. I help out in my community. I do all of that because that's the type of person I am. I apologize because I have fucking allergies. That's why I have.
What the fuck?
But the last video that you responded to me and talked about how the fuck you're gonna do this, it's called being a good person. If a stranger walks up to me because they're being followed, I'm gonna call somebody or act like I know them to make sure that the person is aware that they're not alone and that they can't do 2 against 1.
You are the prime example of a girl's girl and why the world is going to end. For you to sit here and say that I hate women because I'm holding y'all accountable and I'm calling y'all out for the shit y'all are doing wrong is fucking not. And that's why y'all will never be picked. Y'all will never win. Y'all will never prosper. To sit here and accuse me of preying on the downfall of women and hating women is absurd. I think y'all take what I say a little too literal when I say I don't like you, because me not liking you is big preference. That does not mean that I hate women because I'm bisexual. So how the fuck I hate women? Let's be for real. That's that girl's girl shit there. You're saying to justify your plain ass logic. Instead of being wrong and accepting that you're wrong and being like, hey, let me learn something from this, you rather fucking defend it with your girl's logic. And if somebody's being pepper sprayed or followed, then I'm gonna help them. I'm not inserting myself in shit. I don't give a fuck what it is. People get unalived inserting themselves in shit. Does not concern them. I have lost a whole ex-boyfriend for him intervening in his friends. You understand me? Got stabbed one time in his chest and he's not here no more. So fuck girl shit. That guy's guy shit. There's no guy's guy shit. At this point, bro code and fuck that girl code. That code is going to have you single. Let's have a code for yourself. Have some self-respect. At this point, if you're a girl's girl, you might as well just go be with a woman, because the only women that's going to support that shit is other women. There's no man that's going to be willing to protect you or care about you because you center women. Y'all have decentered men and centered women. And while centering women and being a girl's girl, none of you been getting anywhere. You've been collectively sit on the phone and sit in your misery and talk about it. I used to be that girl with my homegirls. I'm trying to tell y'all what the fuck no. But y'all want to get mad at me for telling the fuck and want to say shit like, oh, you hate women. Well, maybe the fuck I do. Maybe the fuck I do. And what you gonna do about it? Besides make it worse by saying stupid shit like you just did. You really tried to make it seem like being a good Samaritan is being a girl's girl. No, the fuck not. Being a good Samaritan and being a good person is just that. It ain't nothing else to it. I'm not gonna be loyal to other women when women are not loyal to other women. I will hold all of y'all accountable because I hold myself accountable. I don't do nothing to nobody that I don't do to myself. That's what the fuck all a hypocrite. It's so many that want to be against me when you should be with me. I guess y'all just don't want to be a pick me. There's nothing wrong with being a pick me. Y'all really get on my nerves with this uneducated ass shit. It's as clear as day that you've been stay stagnant.
You can stop right now. She's not going to take accountability. Just quit wasting your energy. She's not going to be held accountable for any of the stupid stuff that she does and says.
So I was talking to my sister yesterday, and she was basically asking me, like, why do men take feminism as a direct attack on them? And I was telling her, like, in the big scheme of things, that's not what feminism is. But when you look at it from like a generational lens, it kind of is in a way, not really, but it kind of is. And the reason I say that is because men were expecting a certain thing when they thought of marriage or partnership with a woman, right? They thought that, you know, the woman's going to cook, she's going to clean, she's going to take care of the home, she's going to take care of the kids, and I'm going to come home, kick up my feet and relax. She's going to bring me my plate, I'm going to eat, I'm going to do what I want to do, and then we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. And so because women are out earning men, we're more educated, and we just simply don't need a man. The things that they were expecting from a wife or a woman, we're not offering anymore. I'm not offering to be the only one cleaning. I'm not offering to be the only one cooking. I'm not offering to be the only one taking care of the kids. And because of that, they have to offer different things too. Like they have to offer emotional capacity, consideration, thoughtfulness, child rearing. Like they have to bring more to the table than they were before. Like I was telling her, like, you know, during our grandparents, their ages, not our grandparents, but just around like that time, the grandfather would have another family around the corner. You may or may not know, and if you knew, you would just turn your back because I don't have no money. I don't have no way to take care of these kids. That's the only money I got coming in, so I need to stay on his good side. If he came home and the food wasn't ready and he slapped you in the face, you just made sure tomorrow the food was ready because you didn't want to get a slap in the face. And like, that's not going down today. So in a certain sense, it does make sense that they're like angry and bitter, not towards us, but just like in general, because it's like, well, I thought that I was going to get this type of partner, and now I have to show up way more than I ever expected, way more than I ever seen any other men show up. They never saw their fathers show up like this, or their grandfathers, and if they did, that's a very rare case. But for the most part, it was not going down like that. So now they're angry because like, what do you mean I have to be an equal partner? Why would I want to do that? Literally, why would they want to do that? After all them years of seeing everybody else just treat me like whatever, why would I want to be the one to step up and be like, oh, I'm gonna treat her right. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna be equal partners to her. They don't want to do that. And so feminism is, in a sense, a direct attack to them, on them. Only to them though. To us, it's just like, bro, we just want equalness. Like I don't understand why you so angry.
So let's say a woman can't have a job, right? She can't have a credit card. She can't have access to a bank account. But let me tell you what I can do for this relationship. I can cook and clean. All right. And you bring in the money. That's how the partnership works. And we each have companionship. But tangibly, that's how I'm contributing to the relationship. That's how that works, right? You guys keep on talking about all men have been putting their hands on their wives. It's simply not true, statistically speaking. Keep on talking about men have been having a separate family. Obviously, that's a real thing. But, you know, for the vast majority of men, that's not what they're doing. They're just not doing that. I don't know why you guys keep on trying to put all of that stuff on men. Number one, number two, number three. Nowadays, when a man is asking for a partnership, you guys have this attitude when you get to the house that you're not really going to do anything. If a man should say, I'm better at this, so I'm going to continue to do this. This is my strength. And then you're better at this as a leader, because that's what he's supposed to do. You get mad at that and say, oh, well, I want to call the shots now. I don't want you leading. But then when a man steps back, now you say, why are you not being a man? How come you're not leading the household? Because you were running your mouth. That's a cause of radical feminism. You think that you run stuff, and then you think that you have the option to stop and step back from what you said that you were running, and you don't. Men are going to let you have it. And now that men have stepped back and that you have it, you're upset. Men are tired of that stuff. They don't want to be involved in that nonsense. You guys keep on making it to where men are out here wanting to DDT women, body slam women, rock bottom women, stone cold stun women off of the top rope or something like that. And it's not even that. A man will tell you exactly what he wants and what he needs from you. And you'll sit back up there in an office chair with your feet in your chair talking about stuff that you think, when a man done told you this is what it is. Period. When a woman says, I want a man that communicates effectively, I want a man that's emotionally intelligent, I want a man that is emotionally vulnerable, and a lot of men have said this, I come up to you trying to be emotionally vulnerable, emotionally intelligent, and you say, get away from me. You say, why are you crying like that? That's too much. That's way too much. Well, that's what you said that you wanted. I'm in a place where I'm broken right now, and I need somebody to understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, I can't respect a man that does that. That's what some of you guys have been saying. That has nothing to do with feminism, or maybe it does. But that, I would say, you know, feminism, I'll put that to the side, but maybe to a larger part, it's you as a person who is, I'm trying to, get around saying that you guys aren't very good people. You don't have integrity. Your behaviors are terrible. Your character is shot.
The fact that y'all are out here using stolen credit cards to book flights, and in fact using other people's credit cards to book flights, is so insane. Let this be y'all final boarding call. Here's a quick story time on how this girl literally yesterday got stuck in Atlanta because she used a stolen credit card, pieced together a flight, and the fraud department caught on. Before I get into the story time, let me tell y'all how that's fraud with piecing together flights works, you can understand. So the ending of last year, there was this real aggressive stud from Atlanta that was on TikTok teaching people how to piece together a flight. And it was a huge trend. People were actually dumb enough to do it. So what piecing together a flight means is that you go to the airport right when you get to TSA, like you haven't even walked through TSA, you go use the stolen credit card, you book the flight, you book a one-way. Once you get that confirmation, the payment went through, you take that confirmation, you check in on the airline app. You don't go to the counter. This is what the stud said. You don't go to the counter. And then once you check in, you go to security and you piece together the flight in just enough time to where boarding is about to begin. So by the time the fraud department catches on, you are already to your destination. So people are on TikTok talking about how they did it. They were dumb enough to even put it out there. Some people were successful. Some people were getting caught. So it was so big on TikTok. The airlines caught on. People were talking about how when they went to the airport to go check in, their flights was canceled. People talked about how it was one story time where this person was pulled out the line. Law enforcement got involved and was questioning him. How embarrassing is that? So when that happened, like I said, the aggressive stud, because she really was aggressive. She literally was on here like, y'all don't know, y'all know what y'all talking about. When you piece together a flight, you supposed to piece together a flight like this. Like, literally, if you're not from Atlanta, you wouldn't even have understood what she was saying. But she was basically getting upset because the people wasn't doing it right. So now back to the story time on how this girl got caught and she's stranded in Atlanta. So I'm in the line at the gate needing to ask a question, and the girl is in front of me speaking with a gate agent. So while the girl is talking, I can overhear her saying like, okay, yeah, I just need to inquire about a seat. So the agent is telling her in some words like, hey, we had some issues with your reservation. We made a call and it seemed like they refunded your ticket. So the girl is looking like, did they say why? Like, what's going on? And agent was just like, it's just something with the card. If I were you, call your bank to see what's going on. Do you have the card with you? And she was like, no, but that's okay. I'm just gonna make a call. So after I'm done with that, now it's my turn. After I'm done talking to the agent, I go sit down, and I can hear the girl on the phone saying, I told you this should not work. I did it how you said. You told them that it's so easy to piece together a flight, but that didn't work. Apparently, the girl came from somewhere else to Atlanta. Atlanta was her layover, and she was leaving out. So apparently, however she pieced together the flight, it got her to Atlanta, and she's stuck. So she goes back to the agent. She was like, is there anything like I can do? The agent was like, okay, you can actually buy another flight with a different card. And then she comes back to get herself. She was like, this should not work. Now they done refunded their credit card, so that person's gonna know that I used their credit card. Like, she was so mad. She was like, I knew that should work. Let me tell y'all, when Klarna, QuadPay, Zip, Afterpay exists, it gets to a point.
Keep on telling you, man, a lot of these women out here are on TikTok right now. They're on social media right now talking about all of the crimes they've committed. If we go to Cardi B, talking about how she held men up and I'll just say did bad things to men, took stuff from men. She's online bragging about it. And somehow nobody's taking that seriously, to the point to where a lot of these women out here feel comfortable talking about the crimes they committed, because apparently nobody is ever going to go after them.